Should fans be worried about what is going on with Manchester United's transfer? This is a question that everybody's asking, everybody's thinking about, trying to find a way around it and all of that. But there's a whole lot that's been going on. The truth is, apart from the fact that there's a whole lot that's going on, there is not much that's being reported with regards to transfers. We're going to talk about different transfer rumors. All we're seeing are rumors from like non-reputable sources, and then just kind of like little under, like some shallow reports from the reputable ones. The ones that we can see, you'll hear things like, oh, like today, or as at the time of recording, the news that we get are basically Rashford has offered himself to Real Madrid. Okay, anybody can offer themselves to Real Madrid. Another one from Fabrizio Romano, because that Rashford one, I don't think it's a legit news. But Fabrizio Romano has said that Italian side Como have tried to sign Antony in recent days, but Brazilian winger is giving priority to Real Betis' return. Man United are also aware of Antony's preference to continue at Real Betis next season. No club-to-club agreement yet. So, like, it's absolute silence. Everybody is basically focused on, Club World Cup. Transfers are like Tottenham Hotspurs have inquired about to Bournemouth over signing Semenyo. Tottenham's possibility appeals to the 25-year-old winger, but Bournemouth's valuation of the Ghanaian international deemed too high, and Spurs, like Manchester United, not proceeding at the moment. So just kind of like some shallow. Victor Gyökeres is edging closer. This one was by David Ornstein. Victor Gyökeres is edging closer to joining Arsenal instead of Manchester United. So it's absolute silence everywhere. Absolute silence. So that's what we're going to react to here. And just like the thumbnail, you could tell basically. You could tell that there's not much going on. It's just low key, like even from the club, fans are not hearing anything. All they're hearing is partnerships and interviews and preparation for preseason. And in fact, preseason is about 28 days away. And the first game of the season is about 56 days away. So think about it this way. Another news, Antony is prepared to, this is from the United Stand, Antony is prepared to take a 30% cut from his current £150,000 a week contract at Man United to leave this summer. United require a fee of $32.6 million to avoid a book loss. So, yeah, there's absolutely no news, no new news. Everybody is basically waiting and expecting one thing to happen, one thing or another. If we're looking at the thumbnail, like I said, start with Andre Onana. The news around Andre Onana, which we're going to be reacting to, is the fact that many clubs are interested in him. And Sky Sports was reporting earlier that AS Monaco were interested in Andre Onana and all of that. So it's like, okay, they are interested. They're making inquiries. They've asked Man United, and they want to be kept abreast with what is going on. And it's just basically surface level rumors. But Sky Sports reported it according to Sky Italy. Imagine Sky Italy giving reports on a French club for an English player, a player playing in the English Premier League. So it's crazy. And then the next one is basically Emi Martinez, whom I don't want to come to Manchester United. But, there are rumors, not from reputable sources, that Emi Martinez would prefer to come to Manchester United. He would be willing to come to Manchester United. And Manchester United would be interested in Emi Martinez for a fee of about £40 million. For a 32-year-old player who had similar season to Andre Onana, you don't want to get me started with the stats. I released a debate video where I was just talking and debating with posts and stuff from fans about their preference for Emi Martinez. For a player who had 8 clean sheets last season to Andre Onana's 9 clean sheets, yet Andre Onana played lesser games, 34 to 37, and all of that. So you could tell chances created, they've both created chances, But Andre Onana has created more chances. Check the Premier League stats. You could tell because everybody's gauging based on, oh, we just finished 15th in the Premier League. So let's measure it. Emi Martinez, no matter how much we want to say it, there's a proverb, a Nigerian proverb, and we always say, and I'm going to try to say it convert it from pidgin to pidgin English to English, and it says, if I had it before, it doesn't mean it's my property. For example, in other words, if I had it before, then it's history. So, for example, just as rival fans would say Manchester United won 18 Premier League titles, but it's in the past, where past glory. It's the same thing. Emi Martinez won a World Cup. He won the Copa America, but it's in the past. He's declining. We can't deny that fact. And we would be helping Aston Villa with the money they need to sign the Lille goalkeeper, Chevalier. So don't you think that Man United should be wise to even go for the 18 million euros Vanya Milinkovic-Savic? Well, it is what it is. And then we have the situation of, because before we get to the situation, I just want to state that I am not in support of us spending 40 million pounds to get Emi Martinez. He's not good enough. He's not a Man United type player. Everybody, all the mentality monsters are saying, oh, he's got the mentality, he's got the character. Nope. He's not got the character and the mentality. Compare him with them Edwin van der Sar, them Barthez, even David De Gea. Compare him to David De Gea, who has also won the Premier League, if you can remember. Then you would now understand that basically Martinez is not good enough for Man United. He's not a Man United type goalkeeper. But it is what it is. And he's 33 in September. But then over to the next one, and that is Hugo Ekitike. And that one is, I think the dust on that one has settled a little bit. Basically, with Hugo Ekitike, Eintracht Frankfurt were wanting £100 million, but Man United didn't want to go there, and they said, oh, they could be negotiated down to about £60 million. So Man United is not going there. I mean, 100 million euros and negotiated down to 60 to 70 million euros. Well, that has cooled down a little bit. We will hear more about Hugo Ekitike. I've done a video about it on the channel, but you hear more about it in the coming weeks. Yeah. And then the next one is Garnacho and Rashford. And as I read to you earlier, Antony. So these players, we need to sell them. And there's one that's going pretty much under the radar. Most fans said they wanted that to happen, that deal to happen, and that is the sale of Luke Shaw. You know, these players need to be sold and they need to be replaced. But we're not hearing anything. We're hearing, and Jadon Sancho as well, need I forget. Basically, Napoli are interested in Jadon Sancho and all of that. Like loads of news. Marcus Rashford offered himself to Real Madrid. Aston Villa, and if I remember correctly, Aston Villa, Napoli, and some Premier League clubs like Chelsea as well are interested in Alejandro Garnacho. And Antony prefers to go to Real Betis. So these are players that need to go, that we need to sell to make money and not to record a loss on any of the players. Marcus Rashford and Alejandro Garnacho will be pure profit, and Jadon Sancho and Antony will be trying not to make a loss. Now, in truth, if you look at this, all these are the four wingers or winger options we could have had, but obviously they are kind of like deemed surplus requirement and not the kind of players that Ruben Amorim would want. And then the next one will probably be Bryan Mbeumo. Everybody's waiting for the here we go. Everybody is waiting. There's the haggling of the prices. There's the discussion of personal terms have been agreed and all of that. But everybody's waiting for the here we go. And that's where the challenge lies, you know, in the here we go and in all of that. So what do we do? What do we say? What are the plans? Everybody's just waiting. Nobody's sure. Nobody has any news. You just see like some of these little small channels posting news about Bryan Mbeumo and all of that. So what do we do? We have to wait, and it's absolute silence there. And I think I like it to an extent because there's no rumors, no news. All we hear is, except it's from David Ornstein, Ben Jacobs, or Fabrizio Romano, and recently Francisco Di Marzio. But it is what it is. The next one is Matheus Cunha, the only player we've signed. And basically, preseason's around the corner. I don't know what magic or what miracle will happen before the preseason starts. But preseason's around the corner. We have only signed Matheus Cunha and all of that. So it is what it is. We just have to, wait. And I've done a full player profile on Matheus Cunha. You can find it on the channel. Just have to wait and try to build momentum and see what we can get from there. But let me know your thoughts and feelings. Do you think that Manchester United is working in the background? Because Omar Berrada came out to say that there's a whole lot going on in the background and we're trying to get the best price for the best player and the best in class and all of that. Do you think? Because it's tiring. And sometimes you want to look for the most reliable sources and the most reliable news to give to you. And we can't because there's nothing. All you hear are kind of like unconfirmed sources, right? Except someone we had the situation with Victor Gyökeres and it's died down now and not much is being talked about. It's not even trending, especially on X and stuff. So it is what it is. Let me know your thoughts and feelings. Do you think that Manchester United fans should be worried or we should just keep our powder dry? For me, I feel like we should just keep our powder dry and expect the best and not worry about what comes next and all of that. Just, keep hoping and believing that the club is going to do something. And yeah, might not necessarily be a massive transfer window, but they plan to get 3 or 4 players. And if they get the 3 or 4 players, then we should be in a good place to start the preseason. While other clubs are still playing in the Club World Cup, by the time they get back, they'll be super tired. It is what it is. So let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section. And I'll see you on the next one. But yeah, what do you think? Do you think that Manchester United fans should wait or should we be worried? I believe we shouldn't be worried. I think we should just be positive and stop bashing our players or saying negative things. It is what it is, right? We just got to wait and hope and look forward to what we expect in the new season. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for liking, sharing, and subscribing. We've been growing as a community and we keep growing. Thank you so much to all the new subscribers. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Goodbye. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe. God bless.